let's talk about Rey Mysterio Jr.
My
Boy,
man.
I remember when he was just literally a kid working in ECW was the first time I met him. He was just out of his teens, and now he's still going. What a phenomenal career he's had. He's working with his son, which I know is of great reward to him. But he really, I mean, we like to say about a million performers, Nate, that so-and-so changed the business. He really did change the business.
He did. Absolutely. If Jushin Liger, if they're going to give Jushin Liger that credit, which they have, or
right.
Liger for 30 years ago, then Ray changed it, within the last 20 years. Sure did.
Now, how did he was a guy, when I first saw him, I thought, okay, this guy's too small. How did he overcome that?
Skill, charisma, great gimmick, wonderful guy, great attitude, and a businessman. And he can do anything.
Yeah, he really can. I mean, I've never seen any spot that he blew. And he's tried so much new stuff. And he was a real innovator, even among the luchadors back when.
Absolutely. And keep in mind, he's had like 7 knee surgeries. So, it's not a rookie. He's put his body through a lot. He's not a guy that I just hope later in life isn't all banged up to the point where he's not comfortable. You know what I mean?
Well, one thing I think really helped Ray, too, was for a little guy, he had a great body. I mean, even though he was small, I mean, just his definition and his size within the context of his bulk was astounding and still is, really.
Yeah, exactly. He's always built. He puts a lot of time into his training, his physique. But you brought up a really good point. He's really having a good time with Dominic, who is really, really going to be good. He's still, if you look at it carefully, I haven't watched Dominic lately, but when he first came up, he was working, off his left arm rather than his right. Did you notice that?
I did not, but he trained with Lance Storm, so it's hard to believe that that's the case.
Well, I think he wrestled too much in Mexico. They was working with his left arm, yeah.
Oh, right, because they work from the left there, don't they?
Yeah, they do, yep.
Wow. Yeah. I couldn't have, boy, you know what? Now that you mention it, because whenever I watch like AAA or whatever, and especially the older matches, like, on YouTube or whatever with Santo, it is weird. It is weird for like 5 minutes when you see that.
Hey, and I'll give you an example. The matches that Andrade and Ray had on TV were, if you start ranking the good matches over the years, that series was pretty big time too.
How much longer do you think Ray's going to go? Ray's got to be 45, right?
He'll go until,
He might be older than that.
I don't know. I think he'll go until he doesn't feel uncomfortable. He's done so well. He's one of the biggest marketing guys they've ever had with the company, with the masks, and he's been able to be masked, unmasked. You know what I mean? Come back, and they never get tired of it. And he's over. He'll always be over.
Okay, I got it right here. Ray's 46 years old. That's about what I figured. You're right. I mean, in terms of popularity, he can go as long as he wants, I think.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to try to stick with Dominic as long as he possibly can.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't he, right? And because Dominic will go on to become a big, huge star during his time in the future.
I would guess, and I think this has been discussed, Nate, and it makes sense. I would guess that at some point Dominic puts the mask on and continues that tradition. Maybe he's Prince Mysterio Jr. or whatever.
Maybe. I don't know. It's kind of hard to follow in the footsteps and identically trace the footsteps of someone as great as Ray, but Dominic's going to be successful whether he puts a mask on or not. He's got a lot of skill. And he's a big kid. He's just starting to fill out.